Just a couple of guys, a couple of microphones, and a heck of a lot of know. It's Football on the Know with Jim and Joe.
What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Football on the Know Show. I am Jim McPhee, of course, alongside me right there is Mr. Joe DeCapita.
What's going on, Noodles? Welcome back for another edition of Football on the Know Show. We are ready to go here. It is the NFL offseason, but we don't just take a day off here at Football on the Know. We keep grinding. We keep trying to find new information to give to you guys to talk about new topics every offseason. And once again, we came through. You know, there's a couple of things that we're going to get into. But before we do that, Jim, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm tired. How about
Tired.
you?
We got to get you awake.
Yeah.
Listen, last week we unveiled my top 10 offensive linemen coming into this draft, how I envision them. And then this week, tonight, we're going to go through the top 10, in my opinion, the linebackers. And I know a couple of these positions are not the most exciting, and that's kind of like what the reason why we're kind of getting through them early before we get to the nitty gritty of it all.
All right, Joe, why don't we get right into this? Joe's top 10 2025 NFL draft linebackers. Joe, let's hit it. Number 10, what do we got?
All right, number 10. I gotta say, first and foremost, this linebacker list, really trying to put together. I'll say that. The linebackers are not super deep, as what I was originally thinking, and made this list very difficult to do. So we'll start off with top 10. My top 10 linebacker right now is Jalen Walker from Georgia. And I know what a lot of people are thinking, like, wow, are you kidding me? Jalen Walker's seen as one of the best pass rushers coming out of college and everything. That all might be true, but he plays the linebacker position currently. So just like Micah Parsons with Penn State, this is kind of where I'm like, he doesn't have the body type to play. He's a little bit of a tweener. He's just 240 to 245 pounds. And I don't know how teams are going to view Jalen Walker. He has elite traits, is a crazy awesome pass rusher, but I'm very perplexed with Jalen Walker on where to put him. Do I put him at the end? But he's so light that I'm not sure if he's going to be successful there, or do I try to keep him at linebacker and teach him all the nuances of playing that position? It might be too much to ask. That's why he's at 10 for me at linebacker. Number 9, I have Jack Kaiser, a guy who's been at Notre Dame for several years and has played linebacker at a very high level, is kind of your prototypical middle linebacker, a guy that it reads everything on pre-snap, can is a phenomenal tackler, is a guy that is going to keep everybody in line and get them in the right positions. So Jack Kaiser is at 9. 8, I got Eugene Asante from Auburn, a guy who has tremendous physical attributes. He's got speed. He's a sideline to sideline type of guy who's going to possibly get some tackles that you normally wouldn't see be obtainable. This guy is a missile of a linebacker. I like him. I'm not in love with him because there's a lot of other parts to his game that he still needs to develop. So he's at 8. Number 7, I got Barrett Carter from Clemson, a guy who is a little unrefined. I think that given time, this guy could end up being a starter for somebody, but I don't know if it's going to be like right away. But he's at 7. But I like what he has to offer. Number 6, we got Teddy Buchanan from Cal. This guy is a phenomenal tackler, a guy who kind of read and reacts very well, downhill type of linebacker, guy who's going to hit you, get in your face. So he's at 6. Number 5, I got Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma, another guy similar to Jack Kaiser. And he's gone through a little bit of a rough patch in his life, from coming back from a major injury in college to um, some personal things off the field. But Danny Stutzman, the tape says otherwise. Like, this guy is a legitimate linebacker, deserves to be picked and could possibly start right away for any team. Number 4, Carson Swessinger from UCLA. This is a guy that's kind of tracking ground instantly lately. Like, he's been flying up draft boards, and there's a lot of teams that are very intrigued by him, and he's getting a lot of attention right now. Very good linebacker, can do everything pretty well. Nothing elite, but is just very, very solid. Number 3, I got Chris Paul from Ole Miss. This is where it gets interesting. These top 3, very athletic, has a lot to offer in coverage and playing the run. So Chris Paul ends up at 3 for me. Number 2, I got Demetrius Knight from South Carolina. This guy I absolutely love. Like, this guy is kind of like, he's being overshadowed right now by the top linebacker on my list, and by many. Everyone, he's pretty much the consensus top guy. But Demetrius Knight, very fast. I mean, this guy, you talk about sideline to sideline, but this guy gets there quickly. Good tackler. Love what I see on tape. I think he hasn't even reached his full potential in terms of coverages, what he can do there. So I'm very excited for Demetrius Knight to take another big step when he gets into the NFL, whoever ends up getting him. And then number 1, consensus guy, Jahad Campbell from Alabama. It's no secret at all. This guy is the ultimate linebacker this year, and not just because the class isn't as strong as previous seasons or previous drafts, but this dude is just uncanny. What he's been able to do at Alabama. You think of Alabama, you're like, oh, they usually have a bunch of great players. Sure. But this dude stands out atop all. Like, this guy is a extremely great tackler, tough, physical, very high football IQ, and super smart, gets to where he needs to be, is always in the right position, has great coverage skills along with great run support, and keeps everybody, in line and ready and ready for every single snap. So Jahad Campbell to me is like going to be the best linebacker hands down this year. And not only that, he deserves to be picked in the first round. I would not be surprised if he got picked anywhere between 10 and 15. I just wouldn't be surprised. And that would be, it's a rarity for that to happen, in the first round when it comes to linebackers. So, Jim, there you have it.
Yeah, there you go. There's your list, Joe. I love it. I love it. Can't wait to check it all out again later on before we do our mock draft with Roderick David. So I'm going to be studying hard. We got a bunch of comments floated in already, too. We appreciate you guys jumping in here, throwing out there. We have a few topics tonight, but definitely throw some stuff out there in the comments what you guys want to talk about. And we'll do anything. So we got a bunch of shout outs to everybody. Chris Simpson's in the house with us tonight.
What's going on, Chris?
You said he loves your studio out there, Joe. You've been doing a lot with the studio there at your house.
I've been putting in the work. This is why no one sees me. This is why no one sees me. Like, I've been really kind of dialing it in. Listen, all these things right here, like, it costs a lot of money, first of all, so I'm broke now.
I was gonna say, you got some side hustle going.
The craziest thing is I've done all this and got nothing to show for it because our show still hasn't taken off yet, and I just spent all this money on this stuff. So
I know.
It's nuts.
I know. Oh, we got John Turner's in the house with us too, Joe.
Oh, John, what's going on?
Legend, John Turner.
Mr. Turner.
That's right. He says London Fletcher was 242 pounds. Love me some London Fletcher, man. It's going back in the day.
It's true. It's true. But London Fletcher was a supreme linebacker. He was a linebacker. Jalen Walker isn't a linebacker. He's listed as a linebacker, but he's utilized as a pass rusher only. So that's why I'm a little perplexed on how the NFL would view him.
Mm-hmm. Then John also says this guy says gets out there quickly. That's what she said. And then and then he also says super smart. That's a Joe Gibbs statement. We like it. Yep. We're out there. Joe's analyzing these guys, checking out the tape. He's got everything.
Flashback from the past, man. Mr. John Turner making an appearance. Everybody, you should be very honored that Mr. Turner has made an appearance here.
That's right. We also have an appearance from Mr. Paul Matty's in the house with us too as well.
There he is.
Mr. Paul Matty, come on down. We got everybody in here. We got all the know-it-alls.
Nice.
All the greatest hits here.
Hashtag know it all.
Paul Matty says, all right, he's getting right to the questions. John Turner, we love you too, brother. He says, who's going to start, Wilson or Winston? And that's funny too. Is Russell Wilson? He's like, oh, I plan to start, and I think we've got his term. We were talking about what term is he going to coin?
Oh yeah,
and he said, I'm ready to start and let's rock and roll. Ready to get rocking and rolling. So. Maybe that's it. New York, the Giants. Let's rock and roll. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
That's not it.
I just don't know. He didn't do anything yet, but that's what we said out there. So, Jameis Winston, I don't think he's going to be the starter. I think out of the two, you got to go with Russell. Despite Jameis Winston seems like he's turning a different leaf, especially in his personal life.
That definitely happened.
Still, he's still not at a low even with Russell Wilson, even though I'm not super psyched about Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is a better starter for what we have right now at the potential. So
did Jameis Winston get the Superman vision yet? Like he had the surgery on his eyes, and
yeah.
I mean, maybe that's going to work out for him. It didn't work in Cleveland, but maybe it's the wrong environment for him. So maybe New York is going to be the right place. But I would say for a short amount of time, Winston was going to be the starter until Russell Wilson signed. So Wilson definitely going to be the starter. Even though it's going to be a quarterback competition, we know that's what they're going to label it as.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson is a better quarterback. So the nice thing about this, though, by signing both of these quarterbacks is that let's just say Russell Wilson's not a spring chicken either. So let's just say Russell Wilson does get hurt. Has to miss time. You're not going to have to throw in, Tommy Cutlets, and have a lot of the Giants. The fan base is split on him. Like you're either for Cutlets or not. It's a little weird, but I think, that now that you have Winston, it kind of at least gives you a different opinion or option for you to go forward and hopefully kind of still grind out the season and do whatever you can there.
Yeah, we'll see. I think injuries are key too. So, I mean, potentially, I think we can see both quarterbacks out here with Russell Wilson, especially. But John Turner says Danny DeVito by the end of the year. Now, and the thing is, you say a lot of Giants fans are mixed on Tommy DeVito. It's a great story, and it's a feel good thing. You'll have to root for the kid or whatever. He's not expected to do anything either. So when he was winning some games, and he's got the machismo behind him. He's got his agent next to him too, who fits the bill too. I think it was a great story, and it's fine. But I don't think he's going to be competing with anything here.
Hey, everybody loves an underdog story.
Yeah, exactly. John Turner says Neighbors will get Daboll fired.
Did you see
the way he keeps talking out there, man?
Did you see the tweet?
I didn't see his tweet leak.
Right when Russell Wilson's, not when Winston signed, but when Russell Wilson also signed, he was like, he tweeted out and said something. I'm paraphrasing. He tweeted and said something like, "You got to be kidding me! What did I do to deserve this?" So that right there lets you know what he thinks about the signings.
Yeah, right.
But we'll see if that tune changes when we get through the season here.
And it's crazy because early on, that's what I mean. We've seen this with Neighbors. Hey, he's really good, and we get that. But it seems like again, he's that diva receiver, not afraid to speak his mind about it, vocally to everybody out there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. See if he can reel him in or not. I don't know. Paul Matty, he says he can only see his comments. That's weird. Well. I don't know. I don't get that.
Paul, don't worry. Your comments
go to the YouTube. If you go to YouTube and watch it on the YouTube video, you'll be able to see everybody's from Facebook and YouTube. I mean, that's something there too, if you wanted to, if you could only see your comments. But sorry about that, Paul. So yeah, I mean, it's basically potpourri night. We have another show called the Blindside Blitz, which we did last night, and we talked about a bunch of different stuff and shit last night about stuff. So we could regurgitate the same stuff or whatever, but we just feel like whatever you guys are a different offense, different audience. So whatever you guys want to bring up, we will talk about it too anyways.
Yeah, definitely. We want to hear your opinions, guys, too. So if you have any opinion on who you like as we get
Just
closer to
got
the
me
draft,
bummed.
or if you have a question or an opinion about a team or player or whatever,
Yeah.
make sure you drop in the comments down below. We love reading them off. We love having these new discussions with you. He
Yep.
said,
Yep.
Jeff Turner said, talk about potential rule changes. So,
Yo, did he?
yeah,
Oh,
right.
all right. There we go.
I'll pop it up there for you.
There you go. Thanks.
So,
That's fine. That's perfect because that's what we talked about
that's,
last night. We had Mike Tackett on a little bit too last night.
that's right.
Shout out to him.
I'm not
So
going to
yeah,
go.
let's do it. We're not.
Yeah.
We can go through a little bit here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we were going to bring up already in the in
Gotcha.
the headline. So here, because I just read about this today too, is the celebration canceled. No more no swipe. CeeDee Lamb's, and then now other people copied it, and I don't
crazy.
I don't get the reference anyways, but I think now that like it's a penalty and the reasoning behind it is that it's a violent gesture. I don't understand what a no swipe. What's violent about it? It's like, yo,
so
I'm gonna blow my fucking boogers on you or something. Like what is the violence behind it? Like, what the hell is that? He's not like, like, why is all this of a sudden after it's been like in the league for a few years too? People just doing it,
and that's the crazy thing, Jim, is when you compare it to other celebrations that they either have done this year or in years past. The rule is any violent gesture which shall include but not be limited to a throat slash, simulating firing or brandishing a gun, or you. And now including in this little description, or using the nose wipe gesture, or an act that is sexually suggestive or offensive. So I can't believe this. We're actually saying that the nose wipe celebration is violent or offensive. How is it offensive too? Like,
I don't know. I don't
get it.
because the thing is too about football, and it's very competitive, and there's a lot of testosterone going on, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's talking smack to each other too, and when you get some of this first downs or touchdowns, people want to do something to kind of help rub it. They go back and talk to the corner that they just beat or whatever, and I mean, that's what it is. And that gesture, like I said, I never really got it, and that didn't really bother me at all. I understand the gun situation, especially the shotgun thing. It's one thing if you're doing finger pistols, or like sometimes the quarterbacks are like bah, 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 or something like that, because you're like, oh, Wild West here, I'm the gunslinger. But the whole pull out cock and then shoot or whatever, I think that what the hell is that? What does that to do with even football or whatnot? John Turner right here, he in the comments, he makes a perfect example right here. The defensive group celebrations. You want to talk about speed of the game and things like that too, and stuff like. I'm down with that too. Why don't we outlaw that? It's one thing if you want to do a celebration in the end zone, which they do, they throw the ball up or whatever, all fall down, whatever. But whenever there's a turnover, the team seriously has to run to the opposite. Nowhere it's better where they are on the field, running to the opposite end zone,
wherever the end
is to get to their social media guy with the camera and things like that, and do a pose or whatever in a celebration. And I think it's a waste of time. And it's like it's ridiculous. So
it's whatever end the TV camera set up on, and it drastically wastes time.
Yeah,
like everybody runs, and it's not just it's ridiculous because it's not one player; it's the whole damn team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The whole damn team is running down there.
Get in there, yeah.
And it's not even part of the play. It's not like you just picked it off for 6 and now you're in the end zone celebrating. It's, hey, I just picked it off. I'm down right here. We're gonna get up. Come on, everybody, come on. Let's all run to this end zone and let's pose. Let's Let's pose.
And it's
You know
almost
what I
like,
mean?
to me, since like social media got bigger too, and that seems like, again, because you see them
It's
posted on
ridiculous.
Instagram and all this other stuff too. It's like that's what they're told, like before the
But
games
my
are in the
thing
season.
is,
Like, you guys got to make sure if you guys do this, this is what you gotta get. We have to get this many posts for our Instagram, and get out there
I'm
and do it.
confused
And
because
it
why are
seems
coaches allowing this?
ridiculous. Right, right. And I think it's
Why
teams.
I understand letting your players have fun and
Hmm.
celebrate here and there, but when you're literally going out of your way to run to the end of the field, the whole team, the whole defensive team or whatever, run to the other end of the field to celebrate and pose in front of a camera or cameras, um, you can celebrate on the sideline. Celebrate as a
Hmm.
team on the sideline. Yeah, you can still get
Well,
pictures taken
yeah.
in
And
the
I look at it
area
as
anyway. The
it's a
cameras
lot.
will come to you.
Right.
The cameras will come to you. You don't have to run all the way down there. It's
Yeah,
it
and I look at it as it's like it's every turnover. And it's like one thing if it's a game changing, like late in the game, like, oh man, you just basically won the game for your team. But
Oh,
they
no,
do
it's
it after
everything.
just
It's
everything.
every
And
time.
for me, like you said, even as a coach, how do you allow that? Because there's another play. Get back
Mhm,
out there, which
mhm.
there's a lot of football here, and we've seen all these different celebrations. And a lot of times it's the losing team that has the different celebrations. They didn't win the game. It's like, so
Right.
what's the point with all that big celebration? Get it over with, move on, and let's get the finish here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
Those in the
it's
comments
overly
wanna hear
done.
from you
So
guys too.
yeah.
We already heard from John Turner and how he really feels.
Yes, he's
Um,
got a few different out here. Let's
but,
cover them. So.
also, we wanna hear from you guys too. Drop in the comments below. What do you think about those defensive celebrations,
That's one
and
big pile of shit.
the nose wipe celebration has been
Nose wipe.
canceled. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, nice. All right. So
Very
John,
violent.
he wants to talk about NFL reps getting reps in the UFL. What about that?
They'll still
Kickoffs.
blow that too.
Yep, yep, yep.
It's not gonna get
Absolutely.
any better.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing is UFL is different from the NFL. So, although it might be similar,
Hmm.
they're gonna be looking at that in a different lens and running the game in a different way, slightly different. So, uh, I don't think much of it, to be honest with you. Like, okay, cool, go get reps in the UFL. Does that make you a better ref? No, because you guys are still inconsistent as a whole anyway. So nothing's going to get any better until the NFL says, "Hey, we're going to have full-time refs. We're going to get a little bit younger, and we're going to teach all the full-time referees. This is how we want this play to be called. This is how that play we want to be called." Like until everyone gets on the same page or at least close to it, it's just not going to get any better in terms of officials.
Yeah, yeah. And as far as kickoffs too, again, I think Joe and I have both kind of brought up our disdain with the rule changes on
I
kickoffs,
hate
how
the
they keep
kickoffs.
making it a
Hate it.
a yearly tryout every year with it and keep trying to move it up or whatnot. And
I'm
I think
okay.
the most recent one I think with them is
Yeah,
trying to move the kicker back so there's a potential return, which isn't
more of a
as
return. Yeah,
isn't as bad, I guess, as making again the
penalty.
starting position or
Yep.
turnover, if you touch touch back, it's going to be at the 35 or something like that. I think moving that in the
I'm,
fair catch up further, I think is just dumb,
I'll tell you
and stuff
right
like
now
that too. So
that I don't think teams give a shit. They're like, "Okay, yeah, move it to the 35. Guess what? We're still
we're
kicking out of
still
the back
gonna
of the end
do
zone. We're
yeah,
still gonna."
exactly. Hello. Yeah.
It negates a possible return, and even
Mhm.
though the
Yeah.
kickoff, the new kickoff rule and how we do it and how we go about it is stupider than a fucking moron. Like it's so aggravating. Why can't we just keep the game the way it's supposed to be kept? Like, why are we literally changing a play because we wanna view it, wanna make it more safe,
Yeah.
or we want to critique it and change it to so, uh, we wanna keep excitement in the game, but also we wanna cap it and make it, like, almost irrelevant.
Well,
So, like,
yeah.
even though the kickoff play is still alive, it's really not. It's
Mhm.
boring to me. I don't even look forward to
Right.
kickoffs
Nope.
anymore.
No.
I'd rather watch college football because they keep it real. It's your traditional way of kicking off. It's very exciting. We see big time highlights all the time from college football, and that's why it's definitely more exciting to watch
Hmm.
because they keep it real. The
Yeah.
NFL is a shell of itself at this point.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
Jim, I agree with you. Whenever they implement new rules, I'm okay with trying them out. I'm okay with it. So if you want to try something out for a year and then like, well, yeah, that didn't work. We're not doing that. We're going back to what we were you doing before. It's fine about trying things, but if they don't work out, admit it and let's move on. Let's go back to what we were doing before. So the kickoff thing is just it's the dumbest thing ever right now. And
Yeah. I
I
mean,
just can't.
what I don't understand is too, it's like when you're talking about impact and things like that, you still have the punting play where again, guys are engaged. You have gunners going down, running at full speed
Right.
to try and get down to the
Still
punter.
could happen. Yep.
Still
High
do that
collision.
whole play and still even have a return and it's still there. Um,
Even in the middle of the games, offense or defensive plays.
right,
Like
right,
you can't stop that. That's part of the game. It's gonna
right.
happen no matter what you do.
Right. And I mean, we see we have living proof of what happens when they try and change things to well, one in safety's name and then two in the name of entertainment with the Pro Bowl. Look what they did with the Pro Bowl. All right, people were not really going to it as much. All right, so they're like, yeah, whatever, I don't want to get hurt, this, and blah blah blah. And there wasn't much engagement. So what they do, they came up with a brilliant idea to put it the week before the Super Bowl, which was probably the dumbest freaking thing I've ever heard of before, because now they're really not going. I mean, you're not getting even the good players in there. You're getting
Right.
backups of backups that are finally going in there that people should even make the Pro Bowl. And now it's reduced to a flag game, Joe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is what has happened in the name of safety and entertainment with the NFL. They totally, to try and help the Pro Bowl, have diminished it completely
Absolutely.
so that it's just dumb. It's not even like a real flag game either. It's
I don't even watch
stupid.
it anymore.
It's dumb. I can't even watch it. I'm like, what the hell am I even watching right now?
Nope.
So I just hope that's what I'm saying. Just leave the kicking alone. Just let it go back. Or for me, again, just let him start at the 20 and don't do a kickoff. Then you just punt. Yeah, but have the kickers punt and kick field goals. Forget the kickoff. Just start at some spot and go. Whatever, man. It is what it
Yeah.
is. You know what I'm saying? All right. So enough
Gotta
on the
have the kickoff.
kickoffs there. John Turner also brings up one of the interesting things that we talked about last night too. The microchips. They already have like the microchips in the ball right now, even too, because if you check like even the NFL channel too, if they're not capturing the game, stuff like that, they have the simulcast to where it's just the X's and O's, which I watch sometimes too because I think it's very entertaining and it's cool to see how the play lines up, and they have the X's and O's moving around and doing the play as it's live actually happening, and the little football floating around. Reminds you of the old video games like of when it's going and stuff, and but they have that to track the ball where it is now. But now we're getting the updated version here now to where we can actually see where the ball potentially could be spotted here, which will help with officiating and first downs and stuff like that in crucial moments, because we tried to figure out which game it was last night, Joe, but you might be right. Maybe I think it might have been the Buffalo Bills game, and maybe the Bills and the Chiefs or something, to where there was a spot that was off and two different judges had their feet in two different spots, and they went with the foot that was behind the line. And when like McDermott threw the challenge, they just took it off that second line anyways. They're like, no, we already moved it behind us, so too bad. It is where it is. When clearly it seemed like everybody I was watching it on television could see it was the latter. It was like a first down. So I think that's what helped kind of lead to this charge for this type of thing. And we've seen this
innovation.
we've seen this type of technology work with other sports as well.
Yeah, now they're looking at possibly implementing a new. It's not really a rule, but more of a process, a different process to do first downs and monitor the spot of the ball or whatnot. Is no longer using the chain gang
The chain gang.
anymore.
Mhm.
They will be basically they'll still be involved. They'll still be there. They'll be as backups, but they're looking at now wherever the ball reaches to, this computer is going to dictate where the ball is either spotted or letting you know, is it a first down? Is it just shy? Is it very, very close, but not quite? Like it's going to kind of speed up the process, I guess, in a sense of being able to tell, because we've seen a lot of times where, and there's been some shady spotting of the football by referees before, where they originally put it where put it down, and it's like, oh, that's a first down, and then they're like they slide it back 2 inches, and it's like, wait a second, you know what I mean? Like so, uh, it might kind of eliminate or at least try to eliminate human error that way, and I think it's intriguing. I think we should try it. I think for one season we should at least try it, so that way you can't say, oh well, that ref has money on the game, or that
Mm,
ref he hates that team, so he's gonna make sure he can do whatever he can to screw them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
uh, all that nonsense can get thrown out of the window, and now we can be like, okay, well, this is what it is. Like, look, you can tell it tracked it to here, and now it's a first down. So maybe
Mhm.
we'll see. I hope that they do implement it this season, though.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, let us know in the comments, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about? There's
Right.
a bunch of different potential rule changes. They're going to look at it here and make decisions. Um,
But yeah, there's a lot of cool things that they got going on as for the meetings that are going to come up. They're going to be voting on them. Um, it's tough though because you have to get what is it 24 votes, 27 votes,
yeah, I
something like
think it's
that.
24.
I think I
I
think
think
the
it is.
number might be
Maybe.
24.
I think
But
I think it is.
all in all, you need that many votes to get a new rule or new way of doing things
Wait,
passed.
right.
So it's not like, "Oh, you only need, like, 7 votes and we're good. We're gonna move on.
Mhm.
We'll try it."
It's
So
funny to see with certain teams what they kind of throw out there, what might be most important to them, I guess, to
mhm,
throw it out there. I saw one with the Commanders about scouting reports in playoff games and how quickly they can get reports or how they can go about that and things like that.
yeah,
Um, I thought that was interesting in some of these guys here too. And then the Lions also with negotiations. I think the Steelers on the same boat in that one with when the non-tampering days and stuff like that, and how they can handle that, whether it's going to be more in person or just Zoom meetings and stuff like that. So I think it's interesting to see some of those what they
yeah,
put
yeah,
out there to the NFL. They're like, hey, this is
right.
what we want to take a look at, and what maybe get changed or something like that. So
Yeah, and you talk about the Lions, they're looking to, they propose, a new rule that, eliminates an automatic first down as a
mm.
penalty imposed for defensive holding or illegal
Oh yeah,
contact.
yep,
That's
yeah.
another rule that's gonna be up for debate and a vote.
Which
Um,
I think is a key one. I think
I
that's
think it
big.
I I like I like the proposal. I mean, I think there's already so much that goes against the defense as it is that you gotta get them a break somewhere. Like, it seems like every rule, or at least the majority of penalties that get called, are always in favor of the offense.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
come on, let's give them a break
Yeah, I mean, they giving him first down, first down, first down
all
after
the time.
not you know what I mean? And again, it's about stuff and how you see it, how referees, interpretation of it all.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, honestly, Jim, my proposal, if I had a little bit of a talking point in the league, is I would love to see us adopt the defense pass interference penalty in college, where it's no longer where the spot of the ball is and an automatic first down in the NFL. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. So you can
yeah,
no
I think that's a
longer
great
just
idea.
leave it up for a prayer and get a call at the 5-yard line when you're
Mhm.
40 or 60 yards down the field. Like, we see teams do this all the time, and then they tell the receivers to, hey, make it look good, sell it. And sure enough, human error comes into play. Like, oh no, they're not really trying to do that. That was definitely a penalty.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
ran
yeah,
over the
especially while
leg.
they're maybe
Come on,
hand shoving a little bit. Sometimes they
yeah,
trip on each other's
yeah.
legs and it
I
goes
mean,
down,
listen,
so
these guys, they could be actors after this. You
Mhm.
know, a
Mhm.
lot of the receivers in the NFL, they
They
literally
went to
could
the
go into
LeBron
movies.
school of flopping.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah. We got Magic King in the house with us
What's going
tonight.
on,
Magic
Madge?
King, I think that's a new one for me. I don't
All
think I've ever
right,
seen
Magic in
Magic
the
in the house.
house.
He loves Joe. Joe's
There we
out there. He's
go.
got his whole fan base in here tonight.
What up,
Um,
Madge?
but yeah, I agree with that. Defensive holding, you can't give him an automatic first down and all this stuff
Yeah, it's
too. I
crazy.
mean, it's 5-yard penalty, and like you said, pass
Right,
interference, which is the grade level 2. If you want to do, that's what I
mhm,
mean. This is grade 1. This is grade 2. Pass
right.
interference, then it was. All right. So then that's going to be 15 yards, not a whole
Yeah,
chunk, whatever it might be. Cause like you said, that means you're just airing it out.
yeah.
I'll go as deep as I can then. We'll see what happens. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? And this is
Yeah.
why guys, even like Patrick Mahomes, stuff like that, huge arms, they just throw it out there and hey, what the hell? Live on a prayer, baby. You know, see what happens. So we'll see.
Elliot, our man Elliot is in the house.
Oh, snap.
Lawrence Elliott making his
Lawrence.
appearance, everybody.
Yeah. I haven't seen Lawrence since he was on live with us, I think, at
Said
Saki.
Russ to the Giants.
Russ to the Giants.
Yep.
Not a fan. I'm not a fan,
Yeah,
but you know
Jim's
what?
not too happy.
No, but I can see maybe a plan here, but you know, we'll see. Lawrence, what do you think? He seems excited. He's got the exclamation point on it, Joe. He's ready.
Elliot's a Saints fan, by the way.
Yeah, he's a Saints fan though. Yeah. So
he's
what?
got
All
no
right,
skin in the
Saints.
game.
Right? No, he doesn't. How does he feel about running back in with Derek Carr and those guys again too? Because there was speculation with Derek Carr what the Saints were going to do with him, maybe
They
potentially
did redo his contract, and by redoing his contract for the Saints, it's interesting because they made it to where they actually could get out of it next season. You know, so I don't know if that's foreshadowing. I don't know if it's just kind of like a coincidence, and people like us are going to probably look into it and be like, well, no, they're going to be out on him after this year.
Yeah.
But hey, it's something that we get to talk about for next season. Lawrence just commented. He goes, "We just have to survive the Carr fiasco." He says, "2027 Saints will trend to being better." You heard it here first, everyone.
You're there. Yeah, and the Saints are weird, man.
Our
Especially
Saints
even
advisor has told us 2027 is the year to look into New Orleans.
There you go. I know because they were kind of funny. Like last year, like they were like winning some games, like big, like dude, like holy crap, well, nobody ever saw this. And then just like it was like a flip of a switch. It was totally different.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing is there was some of the Saints fan base that were constantly bitching and griping about Derek Carr, saying he's a terrible quarterback. We want him gone. We want to get someone different in there. Put Spencer Rattler in. Put this guy in. Put Jacob Hayner in. All these guys. Guess what? When Derek Carr was starting, they won games. When he left the lineup due to injury, they lost every one. So, I mean, you know, proof is right there for everyone. Like the guy can win in this league. It's just, you know, look at that team. How many injuries they have to survive through and barely survive. Offensive line constantly was injured. The wide receivers, they had no starting wide receivers, kind of like the Giants from a couple years ago. They ended up with none. Chris Olave gone, you know, Rashid Shaheed, he missed great, you know, significant time. And Elliot just said Carr is the best option. Okay. Also said they have to hit in this draft 2/3 and 2/4 this year. That's how you win and change teams. You're absolutely right. You have to do it. See, here's the thing is some people want that instant gratification. We get it. Fan bases always want that. They want their team to turn around in one off season, but it's extremely hard to do that. You have to build your roster through the draft. If you want any kind of sense of sustainability to become a long-term winning team, you have to draft well every year. It can't just be one or two. So look at the better teams are doing it. Philadelphia Eagles, hate them or love them, their GM Howie Roseman is one of the best to do it, and he just keeps that train moving. You know, every draft it seems like he's winning the draft every year almost.
Right, and even with them, it's the fact that they let veterans go and they replenish right after with guys that hit. You know what I mean? And that's where it is being able to nail that, letting those veterans go, not like hanging on to them like, oh, we need this guy right now. He's like another run with him. They're just like, well, let's go. And then they just bring it right in.
I would even say this to Elliot, you know, Cameron Jordan for the Saints. That's what I see. The Saints are holding on to Cameron Jordan. Why are they still holding on to that guy? A couple years ago, they should have moved on. You know, hell, let's go back to when they had Trey Hendrickson. Instead of paying Cameron Jordan, you should have tried to move on from him and then pay Trey. Imagine that defensive line now with Trey and Grady Jackson on the other side. Tremendous. Anthony Wasio, new member of the show. Thanks, brother, for tuning in. Said, chill, Jordan, all I got left. Yeah, but that's I'm saying he's not being productive, though. Like, it's because of the name. You want to keep the guy there. I get it. He's been a great player for the New Orleans Saints organization, of course. But, man, he's not doing anything.
Oh
Not doing
boy.
anything anymore.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Here he goes. Cam,
there we go.
Cam Jordan, but he's a mentor.
Love Cam, but he's
Yep.
a mentor. Yep.
Oh man, good stuff, Joe.
Love you guys. Love you know-it-alls out there. Appreciate all the comments. Keep them flying in because this is what makes this show fun. Is we get to have conversations. We get to have differing opinions. You know what I mean? Like some of you guys are for or against some of the stuff that we talk about, and that's cool. That's what it's all about. So let's have some fun now.
Yep, definitely. All right, so Joe,
Yeah.
there's been a bunch of different trade rumors out there again, or people that there's talks with teams about,
Yep.
hey, this guy's
Rumor
still out
mill.
there. We're doing all this and stuff like that. So we thought we'd kind of go through them quick, and we can discuss. We can open a discussion too, guys. Let us know in the comments too as we talk about them. What you guys feel. We'll definitely drop it out there.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think.
Because again, with recent rumors out there too, which are instantly shot down, the Dak Prescott, and the Cleveland Browns and the Cowboys in talks, the trade Dak Prescott, which for me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense here on either part. Cowboys, they have nothing for a backup. So what are you doing? And then for the Browns, I mean, you're already locked into Deshaun Watson and things like that too. So why would you bring in like Dak Prescott's contract on top of it? It makes no freaking sense. But
yeah, so Jeremy Hatter, another new know-it-all. We're moving on up.
Hashtag know-it-all,
baby.
Hey, on up,
Jaden Daniels. That team that got put together, and then to nab Jaden Daniels, I mean, was the cataclysmic, I guess would be the best word.
That
move for Washington.
Yes.
Now you've got your quarterback. Now you can build around him. You can build that defense up. Man, things are looking up in Washington, no doubt about that.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, it's like you said, he was the catalyst. Like, I don't know if that's what you mean, but you're thinking it's like him coming out as a rookie and performing the way he did set the tone for everything, because just the way they are even right now with having cap space too on top of it was the perfect thing. So now that, yes, they got their quarterback. They got him on the cheap for a little while now, and you've got some veteran wide receivers there, and you can bring in more talent. And now in free agency, they're able to attack and get more free agents in there, and other free agents that were out there see this as a landing spot now too, as well. Say, hey, these guys were a contender. They made it far. I can put my talents here and we can put it over the top and let's do this. And I think
that makes a perfect
here
segue into just saying, like, listen, if you guys tuned in last year when we were talking about Jaden Daniels, we were talking about all the quarterbacks. We basically told you guys, don't fall for fool's gold. Don't get Caleb Williams, get Jaden Daniels. That was my guy that I really loved. I loved him above everybody. And some people were like, no way, the guy's too little, blah, blah, blah. They made all these excuses. But sure enough, hey, listen, tune in for draft coverage because we got you locked in right here, baby. That's all I'm saying. Brandon Degener just trying to say Cam Hayward will not do
Darkness Retreat.
He might be right.
Probably not. Yes, probably not.
Jeremy also said, think Giants still pull the trigger on the quarterback. Yes, I do. I mean, Jim, I think you agree. I think
at one point, I don't think it's at 3 though.
The moves that they made are to at least have insurance at that position. They needed something. And now they have a couple of options. And that doesn't mean now it takes the pressure off of them at 3 to take best player available, or they can wait till this round 2 or 3 to get a developmental quarterback and see what they can do after that. So I think it's a good move for the Giants. You don't want to be the team. Let me put it this way. You don't want to be the person that shows up to the dance without a date, And that's what the Giants went ahead and did. So we'll see what they do in the draft. It's going to be an awesome draft, I think. It's going to be amazing.
All right, bring it right down with it, Joe. What else we got here in the comments?
All right, we got Lawrence also said, grab that draft pick from them maybe and get Sanders. Well, here's what I'll say about that. I'm not a big Shador fan. I'm gonna come out straight with it. I'm just like I wasn't in on Caleb Williams. I'm not on Shador. I like Shador. I don't love him. And he has accuracy. That's like his biggest attribute is he is really accurate. He's probably the most accurate quarterback coming out. However, you couple that with a not so strong arm and you're going into the NFL where some of his tape, not all the tape, but some of the tape when he's facing a little bit more stiffer competition, he kind of regresses a little bit. And people are going to make the argument like, well, he had a poor offensive line. Yes, you're absolutely right. Pat had a poor offensive line. But sometimes your quarterback has to kind of rise above that and just make the necessary play. Not it's not going to be the big splash play because we've seen him try to push the ball down the field to Travis Hunter, maybe Jimmy Horn Jr. or someone of that nature. But I just don't see the it factor in Shador. Like he is accurate. Don't get me wrong. I think he could develop nicely. I'm just not. I question if he can be that high end starter if you end up drafting him high in the first round. That's all I'm saying. If you could get Shador low first round, top of the second round, great. That to me would be right where his value should be, and you could develop him and get him a better offensive lineman in front of him and things of that nature. Maybe things turn around, but I'm just not very high on him.
All right, Jeremy says he loves bringing in LT. I think that was a nice fit too. That kind of I think set the tone for them too.
100%.
To get an offensive lineman here to protect, and that's one thing that was struggling for them right away. So
absolutely need to, and that's the thing. That's where the Washington Commanders went to themselves like, okay, we got our guy. Now we need to surround him with talent, need to protect him, and here you go.
All right, Anthony says, what do y'all think happened to Watson? Has anyone fallen off harder? And then he says, huh?
Was he?
Then he says, because I go to these parlors too, and I've fallen off this bad. So, maybe that is the thing. Who I don't know, but
you know what? It's a group of things all happening at the same time for him. Really, it's just like a really bad luck of the draw the whole way. So first you had that ridiculous serious injury he sustained, missed significant time, didn't play for 2 straight years.
Yep.
Then he goes through the whole court thing and he's battling, constant accusers and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like physically and mentally draining for him. And then for him to try to come back and he wanted to turn the page. He wanted to get right back on track. Got the new, got traded, went to Cleveland. And it's like things just seem to not go away for him mentally. Like it just seems like there's always like, oh, here's another accuser saying, hey, oh yeah, well, what about me?
Yeah.
Can I get a handout? Like, so I think that this dude is just he's having a difficult time compartmentalizing and moving on and trying to do his best to just put his right foot forward and do what's necessary. Like, I don't think it's a question of work ethic. I think the guy works hard. I just think that he just needed time after the injury. And for him to constantly keep getting injured too, that doesn't help things. So
yeah,
unfortunately I think for Watson, it's one of these things where it's just a downhill falling off the cliff and he just can't stop it.
I find it really similar, and I'm not saying they're the same person or even echelon of athlete, but it reminds me a lot of what happened with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, it all came out with the adultery and things like that, and the wife smashing the golf club into the SUV. A lot of turmoil in his personal life, things like that, but then compounded with his injuries that he kept having. Guy that was in top of his game, and then you're talking about it, here he comes, he's coming back, this and that, and just hasn't been the same player, and still consistently getting injured, and again not looking the same, just a mediocre and not getting to everywhere he was. And I think that the Deshaun Watson thing is very similar. It seems the same type of way, that he was on top of his game when that happened. And like you said, maybe it's just compounded stuff, personal life, injury on top of it, because injuries are an issue that affects players mentally as well. And not only physically and all the work you have to do to get bounced back for that, but then dealing with the media and the personal stuff, relationships with people too as well, and all that, plus court. I mean, that's a lot to deal with. So I think a parallel to that, I think it would be a Tiger Woods.
Right. Yeah.
All right. What else we got here?
Crazy.
What do we got here?
Oh, we got a bunch of comments flowing.
Bunch of comments rolling up here, getting everybody here.
Yeah.
What does he say? I love JD.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden
Is that what he's talking about? Yep.
Everybody loves him now.
Everybody loves Jaden Daniels, right?
It's trying to convince the people that were hating on him before he got drafted. Now they're very quiet now.
He survived some hits. He didn't get injured. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I think that people were worried about. You know,
the dude's a tough kid. I'm sorry. You can look at his physique all you want. The dude's a tough kid.
Yep. Debo signing in Cliff, the offense is going to be special. Yeah, I think
absolutely.
That's good.
You give him another weapon.
So I'm saying too, you get Debo over there. That's nice.
Proven weapon. Get out of here, bro. Like that team is going to be electric.
And that's the thing I think with Debo over there, he's not asked upon to be the guy. He's just another tool to that weaponry that you have.
I'm curious to see how to use him though.
Right.
Definitely curious.
But it seemed like, again, with San Francisco, like he had to put out, even though they had players, they had a lot of good players there. It seemed like if Debo wasn't on though, the 49ers weren't doing anything,
Fact.
Debo's a slob. Oh man.
Shots fired.
Going back, exactly. Going back and forth at each other, man.
That is one big pile of shit.
Oh man.
Paul back in black. All right. So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff out there. Yeah, we're super
really
psyched about Washington. So definitely
awesome. We love getting your guys' opinions, your thoughts, and everything. If you could do us a huge favor as you kind of escape out, if you're still listening, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button for us. It really does help. Anything that you guys do, the comments, that also helps. Any kind of reaction, thumbs up, you name it, it does go a long way. Really appreciate all you guys for stopping by.
There you go. I even make it easy. I put the QR code right there too. If you guys just hit the button on the QR code if you haven't.
For people pleasers,
man, just freaking do it already, will you? All right, come on. I gotta get out of this basement. It's cold in here. Let's get this thing going. Right, come on. All right, I can't even afford heat right now. Damn upstate New York and everything. Jesus,
they're killing us.
Yeah. All right. So here we go, Joe. We did this. We're going to do this thing. We're going to roll through it. Tell us what you guys think as well. We're going to do trades. Staying or going. Should I stay or should I go now? Here we go, Joe. We're going to go.
I wish we had that song clip.
Yeah, right, I know. Yeah. That we wouldn't even get fired or anything like that, or fined.
Under 5 seconds. Bro.
Get fined. Yeah. Brandon Ayuk, Joe. They're talking about trading him still. They're still working out deals. The Patriots were big contenders in this one, but now they go and sign Stephon Diggs here for buku bucks. So Brandon Ayuk in limbo, but I know around April 1st, I think it is, he gets $23 million.
Big
so
money. They're looking
to make it happen now. So what do you think, guys out there in the comments section? Brandon Ayuk staying or going?
I think the Niners want him to go, but is it going to happen? You have to have a partner. So unless a team during the draft is kind of where I suspect maybe something might happen, where a team might start looking at the draft board and saying, well, we're not going to get our guy. Our guy just got taken at the bottom of the first round or top of the second. And it's like, I don't know, man. Do you think we should go pull off this trade for Ayuk? Yeah, let's just do it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what it's going to take in order for him to get moved on from. It's going to be during the draft. I don't think it'll happen if the draft passes by. I think at that point, then teams pretty much already solidified. Maybe it's a slight chance it happens after that, but I think that the Niners definitely want it to happen because they don't want to pay that big bill up front. They don't want to have to give that up. They're looking for big time draft compensation in that, and that's the difficult part. Is they're looking for high end return to move on from a contract that's going to dramatically impact whoever takes on that deal. So it's they're going to have to temper their expectations. I feel like they're going to have to come down from their asking offer to kind of get the deal done, knowing that they're going to have to send that contract as well to whatever team. So I give it a slight chance of happening during the draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's staying. And again, we talked about this last season, and we were talking about what the 49ers probably should have done, and now they're doing it this year. They're behind the ball. They weren't proactive at all. Now they're reactive. And I know a lot of 49ers fans are probably even bugging right now. So with how much talent has left the 49ers right now in this offseason, and they're just, again, and they flat out said, John Lynch, like, hey, man, we're cutting money, this and this and blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be an interesting season for them, but I think he's going to be on the roster. Paul Matty, tell your Giants players to stop dogfighting. What? LaShawn Johnson wasn't a dog, in the dog fighting, right? No, because that's who's come out in the headlines now. LaShawn Johnson, he just plays for the Cardinals, I think, right? The guy who just got in trouble for, huh? It's like, yeah. So what's he talking about? Dog fighting.
Who cares?
Yeah. Be quiet, Paul Matty.
Don't get Paul mad. He'll cancel you.
Yeah, he might, he might not.
We got you on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard lately.
Oh, that sucks. It's I didn't think about it. Is because Mike Tackett brought it up on our show last night, but we should have brought it up when we saw Turner on here too. Like, we got to get a road trip to LA to see the flag championships or tryouts for the Olympic team or something like that in LA. So I mean, let's get that group together. So that'd be fun to get everybody together. Even some of you guys out here that watch us on the local flag Facebook page and shit like that. Like, let's get a big crew going, man.
Yeah,
let's check it out. What else do we got here? Thought it was a Giants player. No, I think it was LaShawn Johnson, I think, right? Or he had a bunch of pit bulls and stuff like that. Another thing, just dog fighting, getting himself into trouble and stuff, and it's terrible. You think that people wouldn't do all that stuff, and look what happened with Michael Vick and everything. And shit like that,
from Michael Vick?
Right.
Did anybody learn?
Crazy. Yeah, and you're a real dirtbag when you do that with certain animals and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, be better. All right, so here we go. Wait, leave it to Paul Matty to throw a wrench in our freaking segment right now here, too. Dog fighting. Why'd you bring that comment up, Joe? Got me amped up. All right, anyways. Trades, staying or going? Joe, Trey Hendrickson. Are they going to find a partner? Because it sounds really quiet now. Really quiet. No, so it seems like he's got to come down to earth.
The Bengals now have turned their total focus in getting a deal done. Mm-hmm. So no longer the whole trade fiasco and, oh my God, what are the Bengals doing? They're going to get rid of their best defensive player. That's all put to bed. They're going to get a deal done. He's staying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was funny. It's because that's what I mean. He started to see like Danielle Hunter and other guys, they're good pass rushers, get these deals, and he's like, "Well, I want me some of that because look what I'm still doing and stuff." And when now that I think they haven't found the suitors, he's going to probably come back down to earth here and do something friendly. But investing on that offense, we talked about it, Joe. It could be dangerous for them though, so they need to really attack defense. I think in the draft here. All right, what else we got for comments?
They got a plan. Like, I know some people might be like, oh, they locked up the two high-end wide receivers that they have. What are they doing? They're spending all their money on that department. Well, that's why they call it the draft, where you don't have to spend a crap ton of money to obtain players, and you draft them. And if they pan out, they end up being low-end money for big-time production. So that's why building through the draft is key.
Paul Matty, we're gonna promote him out there because he's our guy out there, and he lets us post to his group page too. We love this guy. We love this guy.
Dude, he's a day one. Like, he's an OG know-it-all. Like, he's a day one that has been around and supported us for a number of years. And Paul Matty, really appreciate your support and continued support. Our boy Paul Matty's got a sports website. You'd like for you guys to check it out. Let us know in the comments next week. If you check it out, tell us all about it.
And it's not like he's just like a football fanatic and things like that. He's a former coach and things as well too. Yeah. It's got his ties in the game, so this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yep, this dude has
check him out definitely.
This guy has done it all on the football end. So Check it out.
Absolutely. Our guy, Paul Matty. All right. Trades, right? So there, Trey Hendrickson there. So how about Kirk Cousins, Joe? Trade, is he going to stay or is he going? Because again, I'm thinking again after June 1st, because again, that helps. It's team friendly. Maybe they're actually open to shopping now, since everybody was saying, oh, here we go. We're okay with keeping him on the roster to be a backup, but he's not going to be happy with that. But I know after June 1st, it gets a little friendlier for the Atlanta Falcons.
It gets friendlier, but who's going to be available that needs a starter? It's going to be done with. Like you're not getting a starting quarterback after the draft. Everybody's already got their guys. Like look at what teams are doing. The only team that's still out there without a proven starting quarterback is Pittsburgh. They're still waiting.
Yeah, they're still
Russell
waiting.
Wilson has now moved on, went to the Giants. They're still waiting for Aaron Rodgers to make a damn decision. What happens if Rodgers decides not to, either one, not to go to Pittsburgh, or two, just retire?
Right.
Pittsburgh has to take quarterback now. They become the desperate team, one of the desperate teams to get their guy.
Right.
But they're picking at 21 in the first round.
Yep.
So do they now try to trade way up? Do they just sit there and take best available quarterback? So
right, because the only thing left,
who knows?
You got Joe Flacco, Case Keenum, guys like that are left over in the free agent pool. That is that enough to get you to the playoffs? Is what they're thinking. I'm thinking right here for them. So
right.
So yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers, boomer bust here.
I don't know if you know this, Jim, but Paul Matty said Deshaun Watson got engaged to an Asian massage therapist.
So there you go. Maybe that was the deal. Maybe
everything came full circle.
Yeah, and
everything came full circle, guys.
She got paid still. So there you go. So
that's it.
There you go.
Now she getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. Now that's what I'm saying. She's like, all right, I'm going to sue you or whatever. And then no,
all right.
how about we just get married? Like, all right, we're good.
Let's
get
married.
I'll get it for free, and then you'll be taken care of. Okay, we're good. man, bitches be tripping. Oh man. So yeah, Kirk Cousins. I don't know. Like I see them holding on to him, but as far as staying or going, I think there's potential for him to go, just not right now. It could be, that means maybe even mid-season, because again, quarterback's going down or not. But like you said, you bring up a good point with Pittsburgh. Right now they got Mason Rudolph, and they've already done that song and dance before. They know what they got out of him, and obviously they're looking. So exactly. So they're hoping Aaron Rodgers or nothing. So
yeah, for me, I don't think it gets done. I don't think they trade him, because if the Steelers, I think the Steelers are with the mindset where, like, we don't want to pay big money to have a veteran quarterback come in and lead their team. We want to, they'll pay a fair wage. Like, I'm pretty sure they gave Rodgers a fair deal, but nothing crazy. And if you get Kirk Cousins, you got to take on that contract that they agreed to. So, and what are they asking? Like, what's the asking price for Kirk Cousins right now? It can't be high.
No, it can't be.
So after having a terrible season, now you can blame Kirk all you want, but the team didn't play well either. Injuries happened, all that. So, but again, you had a bad year. You're coming off of a bad year. You're in a mid-30s type of quarterback, and you got a ridiculous contract. And on top of that, Atlanta wants to get rid of you. Okay, what do you want? Like, it's going to be a low pick in order for that deal to come to fruition. But it's one of those things where I think Kirk Cousins screwed himself. And I know I mentioned it before when we talked about Kirk, is the fact that whenever all these teams had big time needs at quarterback, Kirk Cousins was a church mouse. Never spoke up, never said, I want to be traded. If you're going to make Penix the starter, I want out. Because then he would have had a great opportunity to go and maybe get traded and go to another team. But now that you're waiting, there's only one team now that really needs quarterback. And I don't think they're going to take on his contract. So, nor do I think that they really, is he a fit for Pittsburgh too?
Mhm.
I don't know.
It's,
So
it's tough again because I don't know. Yeah, it's tough for them because for what I
you're
do
looking
see
more.
with Pittsburgh though too is they haven't been able to draft a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger left. Though they haven't hit. They can
That's
get
their
wide
own fault.
receivers, but they
Their
can't.
own
So
fault.
again, we've seen teams go and try and buy their quarterbacks then if they can't
The
get them.
Steelers
So
also are not an organization that trades way up in the draft,
mm,
and
mm-hmm,
that's their own fault.
mm-hmm,
Like, they've done it to themselves. Listen, if you
mm-hmm,
look at Minnesota did it for years when they had Kirk Cousins. They would get by and win enough games to stay in the 20 range in the draft, but never go to the big dance, never win a Super Bowl. So they
yep,
screwed themselves. They were just
mhm,
good enough to stay in the lower tier bracket, but never high enough to take a high end quarterback in the draft. So Pittsburgh is like, if you don't want to move up and don't want to make that big bold move, you're not going to get that position.
mm-hmm. All right, Joe. Dak Prescott, it's out there now. Let's just throw him in the mix too. Why not? Do you think the Cowboys are actually going to trade this guy or not?
No,
Yeah,
no, I think
I don't
he
think so either. I
stays.
mean, this
I
is
think, and the rumored team right now, everyone's going crazy is Cleveland. Like, oh, Cleveland
mm,
could make a deal. Why would Cleveland make a deal? Because even though Deshaun Watson, they restructured his deal, they made it a little bit more cap friendly. If you bring in another quarterback, and not to mention a quarterback that has the highest average per
mm-hmm,
year
mm-hmm.
of $60 million, uh, what's Cleveland doing then?
Right,
Like,
yeah. That you got to
that
make
doesn't make
another movie called Dumb and Dumber again.
yeah,
I mean, for the
that
Cleveland Browns, and not
that'll be
draft day. It's Dumb and Dumber.
that'll be the thumbnail. If that happens, that's gonna be our thumbnail. We're gonna have Dumb and Dumber, and it'll be Jim Haslett as the owner and all that. So I don't think it happens just because logically, realistically, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
I,
Yeah,
I,
it
I
doesn't.
get it. Listen, if the contract wasn't as crazy as it was, then I'd be like, shoot, yeah, go get Dak Prescott, you know?
Mhm.
And then maybe after, I think we looked into it, but I don't remember if Deshaun Watson, they can get out of that new deal now after this year or after 2 years
Mhm.
where it doesn't hurt them anymore. They actually can get some cap,
Right.
relief. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I would be all in if it wasn't for the overhanging amount of money that is owed to Deshaun Watson still.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's why that alone is the reason why I think that Dak isn't going anywhere. At least
Yeah.
not to Cleveland.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't make sense at all. This location of where it is. Now, if you said Dak Prescott trades somewhere else that potentially or something, well, I don't know. But
Yeah,
again,
like
with the fact that though, even that the Cowboys haven't even pulled the trigger on anybody else, though, and like I said, you've got Dak Prescott there. There's
yeah,
no
like
other game plan.
if you took New England without Drake May, like just say they never got Drake May, they don't have a quarterback and they have all this money, like crazy amount of money,
Right.
shit. Go get Dak Prescott. You
Right.
can afford it and you can, build your team around him. So
I'd even say even the Titans at that point say, all right, how about this? So we will take Dak and we'll give you Will Levis and our first, or even something good or something like
they
that.
would
That
have to
maybe
they
that
would
way they
have
get
to.
their quarterback, and then they
Yeah.
like a lot of teams think even the Titans aren't that far away from
Yes, they
being
are.
something special. So
Yes, they are. That's why they're
um
picking number 1.
right. I mean, I would be more apt to think that that's more of a conversation than actually the Cleveland Brown situation, especially after just trading and get Kenny Pickett on there to see what he might do. But the thing is with the Cleveland Browns though too, I think this is the last year for Kevin Stefanski as well, because he has proven that he can't do anything like to develop a quarterback at all. Nothing. I mean, you've had Baker Mayfield in there, you have other guys too as well, and you haven't really done a whole lot. You've had a great defense, offense. It's tailored to the run game and the health of Nick Chubb, but quarterbacks have been shitty.
Uh, there's a there's a debate going on about Kevin Stefanski that with younger quarterbacks, he's been able to develop them into really good quarterbacks in his time, not as a head coach,
No, as
but
a head
as
coach.
quarterbacks coach, as offensive play caller. And I still think he is a very good guy to develop a young quarterback. But you got to remember what he's had in Cleveland are guys that are reclamation projects or um, or veterans that just weren't the right guy. Like there's no, you can't develop someone that's already been in the league for a number of years. So can't change it around, So um, I think for Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland, I think this year is critical that they draft their guy and let Stefanski work with him, because although Cleveland has a horrendous history of drafting quarterbacks,
I know,
um,
that's what I mean.
I
It's
mean,
bad.
it's but
But
again, I look at it this way. I try not to look at organizations in the same lens over the past 40 years because
no,
you
because
get
yeah,
that
things come
you
and
get
go.
that stigma.
Mhm.
Like everyone says, "Oh, well, Cleveland's terrible quarterbacks. We're never going to get a quarterback right." Well, it only takes one regime to fix your franchise. So hopefully they have that guy in place. Hopefully they have that regime in place that maybe they can, make a turning point this year. But it seems like they're always not making the best decision in terms of the front office or the best decision with the head coach or GM, whatever. And that's what's going to halt your success in this league. It's just that simple. So until you get the leadership in place, you're always going to be grinding. Our boy Mike Tackett is in the house, by the way.
Oh,
Mike Tackett has a biography for us to read.
again, here we go.
Said, "Hey guys, I've been kind of hush, but wanted to share something with you guys that's been on the down low.
Oh,
I applied
damn.
for and am in the second round for consideration for the Bill Walsh Coaching Fellowship."
Ooh,
Oh my God, dude, really?
nice.
And then he goes on to say, finalists, um, finalists will be named next month with interviews with NFL clubs to follow. Wow,
Nice.
dude,
Wow. Awesome. That's
that's
cool.
amazing.
I like it. Nice.
Congratulations, brother.
Yes. Congratulations. Definitely.
Really
Good
do
luck too,
appreciate
as
you.
well. Good luck,
Yeah,
Mike
thanks
Tackett.
for sharing that information. That's amazing, dude. That's awesome. We hope you
Yes.
get it, brother. We hope you
Yeah,
get it.
definitely do. And I know why he's then being hush hush too. Cause I mean,
Yeah,
again, you just want to, you don't want to say anything to jinx it or whatnot. You want to see how
right.
far you go, but now you're there in consideration. I mean,
That's amazing.
that's cool. And we wish you the best, wish you the
Yeah,
luck with that,
100%.
man. And definitely, so,
Yeah,
and,
check back with us and let us know, man, like how
yeah,
it all shakes out for sure. But really appreciate you, man.
yeah, definitely. All right. Lastly, Joe, here for the trades. Tyreek Hill, he said again at the end of the season that disgruntled that he did this first time my whole career I haven't made the playoffs. I just want to be able to win. I want to do this, whether it's here or somewhere else, whatever. I'm out the door, doors open or something. Tyreek Hill, it's been silent. So do you think he's even leaving, or you think they're going to reel him in, or what?
I think okay. I wouldn't be surprised if because it's been quiet and then all of a sudden in the draft someone pulls the trigger and gets Tyreek Hill. Wouldn't be surprised. Because the asking price, as much as you might think it might be high, it's not at this point in his career. And with the
Mm-hmm.
contract that he is currently under, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. So
Yep.
I think if it happens, obviously. But I think because it's gone quiet, because there's no more, rumors surfacing still, like, as we get close to the draft, you would think that now it starts to kind of, oh, we're gonna pump this up. We're gonna kind of get the wheels turning and make everybody, kind of get back into get other teams anyway interested. Maybe they call us, offer certain things, and we got things moving, and maybe we do move on from them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because it's quiet, I would say this: look closer to the draft, like a couple nights before the draft, when you start to hear some, and you can't trust all rumors. I will say that,
Mm-hmm.
but if a lot of very established journalists, established insiders start saying the same thing, like, "Hey, wouldn't be surprised if Tyreek Hill might get moved in the draft," then it will be more of a possibility for that to happen. So, I would say for right now, I would say it's not going to, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gained steamed as we got closer to the draft as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. If I'm them, I'm pulling the trigger, like, because again, Well, shout out
you're
to
not.
Mike Tackett. Yeah.
You're a New York
But
Giant.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. But you look at other teams in this division and they're making moves. Patriots are already getting better. You can see it right now. Bills are the Bills, and they're still good. Jets, again, they've got Justin Fields. They got something to look forward to. They've got some good talent on the defense side of the ball, offense too, as well. So maybe Justin Fields gets it going. Meanwhile, Miami, Tua, he was playing good for a while, but if you're still running back the same guys, and you still get beat in the first round of the playoffs or you don't make it, what are you doing? And you're not making any big splashes here. So I say pull the trigger, see what you can get for him. Move on. He probably wants to go somewhere else. You don't have to deal with that headache and try and get something else here and still build. If you're the Miami Dolphins,
we also gotta include this part too, is that Tyreek Hill, no matter where he's only been with 2 teams, but with Kansas City, he was electric, really helped that team kind of blossom faster than maybe possible. Then goes to Miami, get in that big trade. Miami gets him with Tua, balls out. Like he definitely has helped that Dolphins team turn things around faster than most teams. I mean, there's still teams to this day that still haven't turned it around, you know. But Miami's still competitive, still in. It seems like the last couple of seasons, anyway, that we've constantly been talking about them to watch out for them. Maybe this could be the year. Maybe they make that run. And then injuries to their quarterback or whatnot have happened, but I would be cautiously optimistic if this was to happen, because for the Dolphins, they have to absolutely love a wide receiver in this draft to move on from him. Because if you don't have a guy that you really are in love with, that you're like, hey, we can definitely get this guy. We know we can get him. So now let's make the move, Or are they going to wait until maybe they draft a receiver first, get their guy first, and then get on the phone? Like, hey, you want Tyreek? Hey, you want Tyreek? Hey, what do you guys want to give up for Tyreek? Like, then you might see it speed up. So I think it's all going to be predicated during the draft, honestly, for a lot of these moves, because wouldn't be surprised if they happen on day 2 of the draft or even day 3.
all right, Joe.
Mike
So there you
Tackett,
go. What do you
Mike
got?
Tackett, our boy, said that you guys are my brothers, and us know-it-alls is a brotherhood. We really do appreciate that, man. Yeah, this is like family for us. This is our football family, guys. I really
Yeah,
do appreciate everybody out there. Dude, we've had a ton of comments today,
we
Jim.
have. We
It's been
appreciate you,
insane, and
everybody
we
out there.
love it. I want to thank everybody that has chimed in, has given us your opinions, questions, what have you. And if you haven't done so already, really would appreciate you guys if you could head over and continue that support over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button for us. Hit the thumbs up, comment, share, all that garbage. And it really does help our channel kind of grow and get a little bit more notice from other football maniacs like yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. It's been a trip. We're on season 8 right now, so
Jesus.
we've been doing it for a long time.
Jesus.
And we definitely dialed it in. We got a lot of stuff going on, especially this season. We've got some mock drafts going on. Joe, you're doing your lists again, top 10 positions for the NFL draft. So everybody stay tuned for Joe's next list next week. We've already covered offensive linemen and linebackers now.
Yeah.
And we'll see what Joe brings us next week. But that's it
You
for
got.
tonight.
Let me ask this before we
What's
sign off. If
Sure.
anybody checks us out or is still on, type in the comment section down below what position group that you would like to see of my top 10 for the upcoming draft prospects, because we did O-line. I actually had more fun doing O-line than I did linebackers. I got to say that. Like, I was miserable doing linebackers. But type in the comments down below what position group do you guys want to see the next top 10
Yeah,
list?
that's a good idea. All right, that's it for us this week, everybody, and we'll see you guys in the next one.